What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Countdown Scouting Network. I'm your host, Joey Garcia, and today we are finishing our tackle rankings, going through the top 10 here. And again, all 10 of these guys, all 10 of these guys I could see going in the top 50. For the most of them, I could see going in the top, probably top 30, to be honest with you. So let's go ahead and get into it. So the first one here is Javon Foster from Missouri. He's played left tackle at Missouri for, I don't know, 3-4 years now. He's a grad guy, so he's a little bit older, but he's phenomenal. I don't really know why other people don't have him ranked as high as me, I would say. Um, he is a guy that gave up 4 sacks last year, gave up 1 sack this year. He gives up some hurries. I'll say that. He gives up some hurries, but hurries are measured in if he's getting pushed back into the quarterback or anything like that, they'll count that as a hurry. And he stays in front of his guy. Um, that's the big thing that I see is that he stays in front of his guy. Is he going to be a great run blocker? No. Is he someone that I think should move inside like other people are saying? I don't. I don't see that. I think he's a really good pass blocker and he moves his feet well. So I don't really see why we would put him inside when everyone in the league is begging and thirsting for tackles that can pass protect, and he can pass protect. He's someone that I think he might fall to the third round, and I don't really see why not. This is one of my guys that I'm putting my stamp on for the last 3 years. He's been above average at Missouri, blocking SEC guys, blocking Will Anderson, blocking. I'm sure he probably didn't ever block Jordan Davis or anyone like that. But again, he's blocking these Georgia defensive linemen that are going in the first round. These Alabama guys going in the first round. All these SEC caliber offensive linemen, he's blocking, and he's blocking them well, giving up 1 sack this year. Doing that last year, only giving up 4 sacks in what was it? In 900 snaps, he gave up 4 sacks against SEC caliber players. So I'm a big fan of Javon Foster. I don't know why he's not getting as much love as he should be, honestly. Next guy, Tyler Guyton. This is a guy that's getting a lot of love by everyone else. I like Tyler Guyton. I do. I don't love Tyler Guyton like that. He worries me in the fact that people are talking about him possibly being like tackle 3 coming off the board because he's a right tackle. He's 6'7", 330 pounds. He moves really well, and that's awesome because he does. He moves very well for a 6'7", 330-pound guy. He's probably one of the best athletes in the entire tackle class at 6'7", 330. Plays right tackle. Everyone's saying, oh, well, we can move him to left because he's such a good pass protector. They didn't move him. I like Walter Rouse, the Oklahoma tackle that we talked about a little bit earlier, but he wasn't an all-world left tackle, so I don't know why you wouldn't have moved him there when you're at Oklahoma. I don't see moving him to left tackle. I think he's a guy that's going to stay as a right tackle, at least for a couple years. If you move him to left tackle, he's a guy who's raw, who already has to learn a bunch of stuff. Now you're making it where he's changing up his stance, and it's kind of I don't like it. When I was in high school, going from I played right tackle for a little bit, going to left tackle was a whole new world. That's why I stuck at center. You don't have to change your stance at all, really, at center. So I like that better. But no, it's a whole new game. I mean, you're power stepping off of a different foot. You're kicking off of another. It's just everything is completely backwards, and it's true. It's try writing your name with your right hand, and that's what it kind of feels like. Or excuse me, I'm left-handed. That's why I said your right hand. Try writing your name with your left hand if you're right-handed, with your non-dominant hand, and see how it feels. And that's kind of how it feels to just getting your stance, moving from right side to left side. So he can do it, but he's a beast. I just think he's raw. He's a raw prospect. I have him, Austin Jackson from USC in 2020 draft class, I think, went to Miami in the first round. That's who I see him. He kind of relates to that. And it took Austin Jackson until this year, which was I think this was his 3rd year or his 4th year in the league, and he's finally starting to look like a good tackle. And they moved him from left tackle over to right tackle in that time, so it kind of um, took a little bit longer. But yeah, so that's what I think about Tyler Guy, and I don't know if I've really even said anything good about him. He's very athletic. He's super raw, so you can mold him into what you want him to be. But keep the guy at right tackle. J.C. Latham is my number 8 tackle from Alabama. He's a right tackle from Alabama. He's another guy who's big. He's powerful. He's athletic, but he just doesn't. I don't know. I'm worried about him because it's Alabama, and he's been at Alabama for a few years. He started for 2 years there. I think he's been there for 3. I honestly think he's a redshirt sophomore right now. But he's just a guy who's extremely powerful, extremely raw, can pass protect fairly well, but he's supposed to be dominant in the run game, and he is. But there are some other times that he just isn't. He's getting blown off the ball. So I don't know if it's a fatigue thing for him, if it's I couldn't really tell if it was his body control and getting leverage on guys, and sometimes he just is standing too far up and he's not firing off the ball. I couldn't really get any of the sense for that. I think he fires off the ball well. I just think sometimes he just gets out leveraged. He doesn't really know how to stay consistent whenever people start changing up their games in the run game. So he's another right tackle that I think could be an All-Pro. He feels more like a Mekhi Becton to me, and he's not as big as Mekhi Becton. I think Mekhi Becton was 6'7", 340, something like that. He's like 6'5", 320, something like that. But he's big, he's physical. I really really like him. I think he could move inside to guard if you have to, but he's a good enough pass protector. I don't think you would really want him to, especially if he's not going to be consistent in the power run game. And he doesn't have great enough feet where it's going to be beneficial for him in a zone scheme either. All right, let's go to Troy Fantanu. Troy Fantanu. I think I missed an N in there because I'm pretty sure it's Fantanu, or maybe it's Fatanu. But this is Washington's second tackle that we've talked about. It's the left tackle, Troy Fantanu. I love this guy's game. I think his arms are a little bit small. That's what it looks like, at least to me, on tape. His arms just look a little bit small, but his feet move so well. So it's like, again, like we were talking about with Rashawn Slater last episode, people want to move Slater inside and all that kind of stuff, or Peter Skoronski inside, but Fatanu moves his feet better than Skoronski. He's got more bend to him, more athleticism than Skoronski. He's more like a Rashawn Slater, where he's a refined technician. Maybe he's got smaller arms, but I think he knows how to punch with them in time. So I don't think it's an issue. I think he stays at left tackle. I think you can move him inside and it'd be fine. But I feel like he's more of like a Titus Howard is the comp that I was just thinking about some comps for him. I think he can play probably all four spots, both tackle and both guard spots. But I think I want to try him at left tackle first, since it's so ideal to be able to find a good pass protecting left tackle, and I think he can do it. Titus Howard from Alabama State was drafted by the Houston Texans a few years ago. No, dude, come on. Sorry, my cat's trying to get up in here. Why, buddy? Look at that beast. No. So yeah, I think he's someone that I would love to keep at tackle, but if he has to move inside, he has to move inside. I just think he's a good enough tackle where he doesn't have to. Let's go here. Boom. Graham Barton. Graham Barton from Duke. I like him as well as a left tackle. I don't know if his anchor is good enough to be able to support on an island out there pass protecting, but he moves his feet well. He's got good enough pass protecting. He's not the strongest guy, but they say he has 5-spot flexibility. They say he plays center a little bit. They're impressed with that. I think he can swing both ways. He's an all-around guy. I think there's only 2 guys in here that are guys that I think are all-around guys. I had a guy tell me he reminds him of Elton Jenkins, who's with Green Bay right now, and I kind of see it, and I like that comp a lot. I think he could be an Elton Jenkins guy. So he's a versatile piece on the offensive line. I think he does everything adequately. He's not someone that is going to be an all-pro or anything like that, but he's just very, very consistent. And I kind of like consistency a lot. That's how I rank it. sometimes I do that instead of the risky upside picks. But let's go to Jordan Morgan. This is my guy, man. I really like Jordan Morgan a lot. He's a great pass protector. He moves his feet really well. Zone scheme guy. I think the reason why I really like him is because I'm a Dolphin fan, and so I'm looking for tackles for Dolphins because I thought Teron Armstead was going to be cut, and so I just keep digging deeper in the tape for Jordan Morgan, and I really like what I see, man. He moves well. He's a good pass protector. He's not the strongest guy. He's not going to blow anyone off the ball, but I think he moves really well in the run game, and the zone system is really beneficial for him. So I could see him moving into left guard. I could see that, but mostly he's going to be playing on the left side. I don't really see him swinging over to the right side. I think he's a left tackle who you have to force him inside. If he fails inside and goes to guard, I can see that. But right now, I think he's a left tackle, and I think he's a day one starter, depending on where he goes. Let's go to Amarius Mims, right tackle from Georgia. This is a guy who's a physical freak. He moves his feet very well for being a big guy. But I don't really, I don't know. I don't see this dominant force in the run game like I was seeing last year with the other. Who was the other Georgia tackle that they had last year? The super physical, 6'5", 330 pounds that just moved like a running back out there. Broderick Jones, that's who it was. I don't see him really moving like that. I think he's got the same amount of athleticism, but I don't know if he's not familiar enough with it yet to be able to move that confidently. But I think he's got the highest upside of anyone out here. It's just slightly raw. So I think he's a right tackle who could end up moving down to right guard, but I think he has good enough foot speed in the pass game, and he's a big enough guy who he's not going to get bullied, and I don't think he's going to get speed rushed around. I think he's going to be fine. I just want to see him be more powerful in the run game. All right, going to our last three guys. I'll show all three of them right here. Talise Fuaga from Oregon State, right tackle. This dude is the best run blocker in the class. He's a monster. Exactly what I said that I wanted from Mims, where I want to see him just plowing through guys and using his size. Fuaga does that. He finishes his runs. He's aggressive. He's okay at pass protecting. He's not the best pass protector in the world, but he could be a zone blocker on the outside, and he can also be a gap power blocker. I think he's a right tackle day one. People talk about moving him over to left tackle. Don't do that, please. Do not move this guy to left tackle. He's a beast at right tackle. Leave him at right tackle. My number two guy, who was my number one guy at the beginning of the season during summer scouting, is Olu Fashanu from Penn State. Best pass blocker in this. So we got best run blocker in Fuaga, best pass blocker with Olu Fashanu. He's a left tackle. He is a little weak in the pass block, he's a little bit weak in the run blocking. That's something that disappointed me a little bit, but he's not subpar in it. He's probably just an average run blocker, and I think he's young. This dude's 21 years old. I think he's gonna put on some weight, and he's gonna get a little bit more functional strength to him. He's gonna be a little stronger, and I think he'll be an adequate run blocker. I really think that's what it's gonna be, but he's already an elite pass blocker. All right, going to our number one guy, Joe Alt from Notre Dame. This dude has it all. Taylor Lewan is kind of what he looks like to me, and he's just a great run blocker, a really great pass blocker. I think this is a guy who I would take in the top four. I'm taking two quarterbacks, the Marvin Harrison Jr. and then Joe Alt. That's what I see. Olu Fashanu and Talise Fuaga are two guys that I would also take in the top 10. But Joe Alt kind of stands alone, in my opinion, because he's just a complete tackle. He plays left tackle. I would keep him at left tackle. I don't really like swinging guys over to the other side, and you don't have to. Again, left tackle is the most sought-after offensive line position. He already plays it at a elite level. So appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this. If you enjoyed, go ahead and leave a like. Have a good day. Peace.